Why saving 5 USD on coffee is a toxic mindset that keeps you poor. Everyone thinks Ramit Sethi built his massive wealth by meticulously tracking every single penny he spends. We are conditioned to assume that highly successful financial authors reach the top by completely skipping their morning coffee, canceling all their streaming video subscriptions, and spending their weekends using digital coupons to save pennies on toothpaste. But his actual approach to money is completely contrarian and deeply shocking to traditional savers. He actively encourages people to buy expensive lattes. He explicitly tells his audience to stop worrying about the price of appetizers at restaurants. His real secret to building a multimillion net worth relies on entirely ignoring the tiny expenses that society tells you to fixate on. Society falsely believes that getting rich is a game of extreme, painful deprivation. We are aggressively taught, from a young age, that microscopic daily savings will somehow miraculously accumulate into millions of dollars. We believe that clipping coupons makes us financially responsible, but the truth is, focusing all your limited mental energy on saving tiny, trivial amounts of money is the exact psychological reason you are completely blind to the massive financial mistakes that are keeping you permanently broke. Before we dive in, remember this video is for educational purposes only and is not financial advice. Welcome to TAFA Finance, where we explain investing concepts in a simple way. The concept we are talking about today is the micro-frugality distraction. Think of your financial life like a massive wooden boat floating alone in the middle of a deep ocean. Your boat has a huge, gaping hole in the bottom that is aggressively letting in gallons of water every single second, but instead of working to fix the massive hole, you are frantically using a tiny plastic spoon to scoop water out over the side of the boat. You feel incredibly busy. You feel extremely productive. You are sweating from the immense effort of scooping. But the tiny plastic spoon is not going to save you. The boat is absolutely going to sink. In personal finance, spending hours arguing over a 5 USD coffee while actively taking out a massive 50,000 USD car loan is exactly like scooping water with a plastic spoon. Let's look at the expectation versus reality trap that catches almost every modern professional operating in the workforce today. Imagine a hardworking, deeply stressed corporate employee currently making 75,000 USD a year. They desperately want to get ahead financially. They read a popular blog post about extreme frugality. They make a firm decision that they will completely cut out their daily 6 USD morning latte. They spend 45 minutes every single Sunday morning clipping digital grocery coupons to save a total of 12 USD on their weekly shopping. They turn the thermostat down until they are freezing just to save 20 USD on the heating bill. They feel incredibly disciplined. They feel like an absolute financial genius who is finally beating the system. Here's the problem with that plan. Their brain becomes so severely fatigued by making these tiny, agonizing micro decisions every single day that they completely lose all their critical thinking capacity for the macro decisions. When they finally get a hard-earned 10,000 USD raise at work, their ego and exhaustion take over. They immediately walk into a premium dealership and finance a brand new 60,000 USD luxury SUV at an absolutely toxic 9% interest rate. They convince themselves they can afford this massive debt because they are being so incredibly disciplined at saving small amounts of money on coffee and groceries. Fast forward 10 years into the future. They successfully saved a grand total of 3,000 USD by ruthlessly skipping their morning coffee and hunting for coupon codes. But mathematically, their life is completely ruined. They lost a staggering 45,000 USD to aggressive car depreciation and compounded toxic debt interest. Their overall net worth is practically zero. They focused all their precious mental energy on a 6 USD question and completely ignored the 60,000 USD question that actually dictated their future. They won the battle of pennies and completely lost the war of wealth. Contrast this exhausting, miserable cycle with the approach of Ramit Sethi. When he began building his financial empire, he completely rejected the plastic spoon mentality. He looked at traditional financial advice and realized it was fundamentally designed to make people feel guilty, restricted, and small, rather than actually making them wealthy. Ramit Sethi does not track the price of his coffee. He does not care about saving 3 USD on an appetizer when he goes out to dinner. Instead, he focuses entirely on the big structural wins. He spends his energy learning how to aggressively negotiate a 15,000 USD salary increase at his job. He focuses on optimizing his overall asset allocation to save hundreds of thousands of dollars in hidden investment fees over his lifetime. He focuses his willpower on securing a slightly lower mortgage interest rate. By getting just 3 or 4 massive financial decisions right in his entire life, his wealth compounds automatically in the background. He bought his ultimate freedom because he boldly refused to waste his highly limited daily willpower on trivial, meaningless expenses. This is not just a psychological theory. The real-world data behind human financial behavior is absolutely terrifying. A comprehensive behavioral study conducted by researchers at the National Bureau of Economic Research analyzed exactly how normal households allocate their financial attention. They wanted to see where human beings spend their brain power. The findings were devastating. They found that the average consumer spends significantly more time reading reviews and researching a 500 USD television purchase than they do choosing their entire retirement portfolio allocation. Let that sink in for a moment. People will happily spend 15 hours reading internet forums to save exactly 50 USD on a flat-screen monitor. But they will spend exactly 15 minutes blindly checking a box on their company retirement form. That single unchecked box will literally dictate the trajectory of hundreds of thousands of dollars over 30 years. We are mathematically blind to scale. Here's the part that surprises almost everyone. Incredibly smart, highly educated people are actually the most vulnerable to this exact trap. Doctors, engineers, and corporate lawyers stay permanently broke while feeling highly productive. Why do smart people fall for the micro-frugality distraction? It comes down to 3 deeply ingrained psychological traps that completely bypass human intelligence. First, the illusion of control. The human brain biologically hates uncertainty and chaos. Macro financial decisions, like investing in the volatile stock market or walking into a boss's office to negotiate a massive raise, feel incredibly scary. They feel completely out of our control. The fear of rejection or losing money is immense, but choosing not to buy a 5 USD coffee feels completely safe. It gives our primitive brain an instant, fake sense of control over our chaotic financial lives. We subconsciously substitute a difficult, high-value task for an easy, low-value task just to soothe our deeply rooted anxiety. We hide behind the coupons because we are terrified of the investments. Second, cognitive depletion. The human brain operates exactly like a physical battery. You only have a strictly limited amount of decision-making power every single day. Every choice drains the battery. If you burn your daily battery actively debating whether to buy the 4 USD name brand cereal or the 3 USD generic cereal at the grocery store, your battery is completely dead by the time you have to make real decisions. You literally drain your cognitive capacity fighting over pennies, leaving you entirely defenseless when the banks and car dealerships come for your thousands. Third, the psychological licensing effect. This is a deadly biological flaw in how we perceive our own morality. When we do something we perceive as financially good or disciplined, our brain automatically grants us a moral license to do something extremely bad. You skip the expensive restaurant lunch for a week, so your brain tells you that you deeply deserve to finance the 1,200 USD smartphone. You use your microscopic frugality to mathematically justify your massive luxury consumption. Here's the catch. Human beings are biologically incapable of treating all numbers equally. Ramit Sethi hacked his own psychology by completely automating his wealth and setting strict, unforgiving boundaries on what he is actually allowed to care about. He completely removed the emotional friction from small purchases so he could deploy 100% of his mental energy toward the massive financial levers that actually move the needle. So how do you actually apply this to your own life? You cannot just rely on good intentions to stop worrying about small purchases. Your brain is wired to panic over pennies. You need a cold, hard system that forces your vision onto the massive numbers. Rule number 1. The big win focus. Decide that today. Stop feeling guilty about buying lattes and start brutally analyzing the 3 biggest expenses in your entire life: your housing, your transportation, and your taxes. If you can negotiate a 10% reduction in your housing costs, or simply force yourself to keep your reliable car for an extra 5 years instead of upgrading to a new model, you will save far more money in one single move than a lifetime of skipping coffee. Stop playing defense with pennies. Start playing aggressive offense with thousands. Rule number 2, automate your wealth. Decide that today. Never rely on your daily manual willpower to save money. Willpower always fails when you are tired or stressed. Set up an unbreakable system where 20% of your gross income is automatically pulled from your checking account and routed into broad market index funds the exact day you get paid. You do not look at it. You do not authorize it. It just happens. Once the massive structural system is running flawlessly in the background, you are mathematically free to spend the leftover money on whatever brings you joy, completely guilt-free. Rule number 3, the zero stress threshold. Decide that today. Pick a specific hard amount based on your income, for example, 50 USD, and make a strict rule that you will never spend more than 5 minutes debating a purchase below that line. If it costs less than 50 USD and it brings you genuine joy or saves you time, buy it immediately without a single ounce of guilt. Protect your mental energy at all costs so you have the psychological strength required to negotiate your next massive salary raise. Big takeaway: true wealth is not about cutting out every single joy in your life until you are utterly miserable. True wealth is about getting the massive structural decisions right so you can completely ignore the trivial ones. If you have been beating yourself up over buying expensive coffee while simultaneously driving a car you cannot afford, you are losing the game. Ramit Sethi became incredibly wealthy because he dropped the plastic spoon and focused entirely on fixing the massive hole in his boat. If you look at your past and realize you fell perfectly into the micro-frugality trap, take a deep breath. Do not panic. You are not stupid. You are not a bad person with money. You are simply fighting against millions of years of human evolution and a highly optimized financial media industry that literally profits off making you feel guilty about small things. Acknowledging the distraction is the very first step to escaping it. You have the power to drop the plastic spoon and fix the massive hole in your boat right now. If you found value in this breakdown, hit the like button and subscribe to the channel so we can keep making these videos for you. Let me know down in the comments. What is one cheap item you refused to buy to save money, even though it was a total waste of your time? Be honest. I read every single one. Also, check out this other video on the screen right now where we break down another massive investing myth. Thanks so much for watching, and I'll see you in the next one. Bye.